Hi. Reality actually unfolds automatically. So stop forcing, stop worrying about it. The principle of least action governs everything in physics, from the path of a planet to the path of a pulse of light. Least action is the minimum amount of energy multiplied by the minimum amount of time. This is what I'm saying is you don't see grass stressing to grow. The day you realize the full power of the law of assumption is the day you realize that it works perfectly with this principle. It works by means of attention minus effort. Thus, with least action, through an assumption, you hurry without haste and reach your goal without effort. Literally without effort. Because creation is finished, what you desire already exists. It is only excluded from view because you're only able to see the contents of your own consciousness. So if your concept of yourself were to be different, everything in your world would be different. Consequently, what appears as circumstances, events, and even material objects is really only a product of your own consciousness. So if you were to change your consciousness or your I am state, your outside, your external reality would change. This is a beautiful quote by Neville Goddard. Nature, then, as a thing or a complex of things external to your mind, must be rejected. You and your environment cannot be considered to be existing separately. For you and your world are one. Let that sink in. For you and your world are one. Half the time we waste so much time. I wasted years emotionally responding to events in my life, when in actual fact it was my own consciousness that was creating the events. That if I went within myself and assumed the desire fulfilled, it would create the bridge of incidents to come to me faster in the least effort possible, the least time possible. What that means in really plain talk is that your consciousness is creating reality. So to change things external to you, you need to change the inside. So if you don't like what's happening outside of you, and you want to get somewhere in the least amount of effort possible, because all of your reality is happening automatically, we have an illusion of free will, when in actual fact our free will is our ability to choose. Our free will is our ability to choose, create our preference vibration. Okay? This preference vibration is the power of our assumption. So the power of our being state. Because everything is responding to our being state. But it is kind of doing it backwards. To know security, you must feel secure. And then the things around you start responding, connecting to that. Pretty interesting, right? So with the principle of least effort, what are you going to do differently, knowing that there's an easier way to do it, not using thoughts, not using feelings, right? We don't have to respond to everything in our life. Not everything in our life needs a response. Because as we know, the third dimension, this physical realm, is the realm of effects. So the realm of cause is in the spiritual realm or the invisible realm. This is important to know. Things that appear random to you is just the law of assumption not yet observed. A lot of us didn't grow up with this. This has been like knowledge of like ancient mystics. It's the heart of all religions of the world and spiritual systems. And now you're learning to use it. This is so cool. The principle of least effort. Because all of nature works like this, effortlessly. Becoming. There's no permanent state of self. Remember that. What you desired 6 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, is going to be different to what you desire now. Because if you're feeling, if you're existing, you are desiring. So it's about becoming one with our desires. Becoming one with ourselves when we are going about our life. With our focused intention, our focused assumption, knowing that it's a changeless law that governs all of our reality, right? So if we're tuned into that, let's use an example. If I'm applying to new jobs after university, I'm going to assume that the most perfect career, perfect job, perfect role is coming my way. And that I'm going to assume confidence. I'm going to assume it finds me perfectly, that it falls into place effortlessly, right? It's only the mind and the ego, which is the emotions, that's responding after the fact to the third dimension, which we know is just the effects we're seeing. It's the effects. That the cause first is within. That's all. It starts within. So if I just got out of school and I'm applying to this job, I'm going to assume confidence. I'm going to assume that I am the most magnetic character that this interviewer has ever seen. I'm going to assume that this job is meant for me. I'm going to assume it falls into place real easy, that there's nothing I have to really do. When I say do, I'm saying effort. Because assumption is natural. Assumption guides the body. Subconscious beliefs guide your body automatically to do certain things. So you may be, why does this keep happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? It could be your body moving automatically. Okay? It could be your thoughts moving automatically. So it's about coming back in, using the principle of least effort. We can get things that we want easier through flow state. We don't have to think, oh my gosh, the divine needs you to move and to be inspired. Say you're connected to this, you just got out of school and you're connected to this job. This is my job. What does it need you to do? It needs you to apply to the jobs. It needs you to prepare. Okay, so when we assume the desire already fulfilled, we're going to dress nice. We're going to hold ourselves as if we got the job. The principle of least effort. Check it out. Write a comment down below if you have something that you're wanting to create in your reality. If you're wanting to align to, let's align our vibration. Write down in the comments there. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like content just like this. If you like videos just like this. Thank you so much for watching. All my links are down below. Check those out. Have a great week, guys. Have a miraculous week because you are God incarnate, okay? Love you guys so much. I'll see you guys next week.